What if I dropped being an MC? Man, what if I dropped it?
We'll talk about that. There's no way you can drop being an MC. I bet you cannot kill this beat. Prove me wrong.
Wow.
Here's
You
three
bet I can't
beats.
kill this beat?
Here's 3 beats. I hope you can kill, but I bet you can't. Wow. Prove me wrong.
Alright, cool, man. Really? What? Wow, how does he play that beat though?
Yeah.
Are you for real?
1, 2, 1, 2. Zeke, what it do?
See, he's trying to rap. Look, back to the basics. Let me hand you a lesson. Pass me a pencil as I continue drawing attention. What sets me apart is protected Wi-Fi, cause my bars pass words and aim for your heart. So, what you doing music for? Is it to showcase? The last time I checked, I only rap because of grace. It's not for using to address a hater. I rap because it's God's grace. Not because I can manage to put words together. Words together. Words together.
Let's together.
Yeah, I'm putting words together. See,
gather.
yo, I'm putting words together. Look, isn't it ironic that I could be sweet, be slick and creative, but still respect all the rappers that I defeat? Truth is bitter, so even without a beehive, I'm still a rapper. The mothers tell the kids to be like. Good news sets you apart, but you want them out to nothing. Before you do is envy your spot, but you wanted it to be you, I get it. If rappers is bored, let me address everyone that's feeling athletic. I'ma stop with those we inspire much. We got the fire, but remember the price of a soul is ridiculous like the fire trucks. No shade, I just say it like it is. I have to make it reflect about the stuff you feed the kids. It's not even about who the best. I am a father cause I school sons. I want my school sons to progress. So it's impact over respect. I'm like the internet, you need to raise your bars if you felt to connect with me and see for yourself that evil is self. Pride is material from which the ego is built. My homie, what you being delicate for? If you want better reception and accept my elevation of thought, most cats wanna be famous. Everybody to an extent wants to live a life better than their neighbors. Willing to backstab with kisses like Judas. You don't want salvation, but the soul inside you does. But hold up, let me crack a tooth before they label me gospel and put me in a box saying future use. Atini nego na unashamed old day. Nipo zanga zidimonga airtel so check.
Okay. Wow, dude, I was nervous for you. Yeah. I'm not a rapper, but I was nervous for you. I'm putting my friend on the spot, man. I like how you rhyme Judas and does.
Yeah,
that's like for me in my books, that's the mark of a true MC, where you have to rhyme things that don't like rhyme.
It's not expected.
It's not expected for you to rhyme like that. Zeke, ladies and gentlemen, this is Level Up. I'm Sangatembo. He's Phil Nkonde, in case you didn't know his real name.
Zeke's my real name. Yo,
dude, no one Mozambia is named Zeke.
Like, you're not, and that's how you not. I don't understand like the typical Zambian cultural community. Yeah, like the times where you introduce yourself as Zeke, and then people are just like, okay, so what's your real name?
Good.
I mean, like, I'm like Zeke.
That's the culture out here. No one is named Zeke.
Yeah.
Who's named Zeke? My government
named Zeke. Know what I'm saying?
Whatever, man.
Zeke.
So you might know him from this. I used to host a show on Radio 4 named Eardrum.
Come on,
and he really did well on that. How long were you there for? 7 weeks.
7 weeks, man. 7 weeks straight. You better emphasize 7 weeks straight.
That led to people thinking we're brothers, we're related.
Yeah. Some people thought you were my manager, actually. Some people were like, that boy your manager. Maybe that's why.
Corruption.
You know, right? That there was some drama that went down.
Yeah.
But it was a good run. I think it was an experience for me that really made me believe that hip hop is actually doing something, or that the stuff that we speak in hip hop is something that people could actually listen to. Because I remember in that period, people would download radio apps, stuff that people weren't doing before. You know what I mean? Yeah. Not to say that people never used to listen to radio, but it was just amazing to see people go an extra mile, because there are people that have smartphones and they didn't have radio on them, so they started to download radio apps just to listen to Eardrum.
Thank God.
And for for an MC like me who is very very strict on content, because I believe art is a platform, you know what I mean? Yeah, so it was big for me, because not that I'm okay, I know it's probably a topic for another day, but there's these battles of like whether you're a Christian rapper or a rapper that's Christian, like
or
there's
whether
the typical
the
stuff.
line is blurred and
Exactly, or you've chosen to like people say, like you've chosen to do a lecrae on us, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like it was an amazing experience, especially because I hadn't done something like that before.
Yeah.
The closest thing was Pyre 1.
Oh yeah.
Me and a friend of mine called Danny TSG did Pyre 1, and it's ironic because we went to that show to do ciphers.
Okay.
You know, it had like that cipher segment.
Yeah, I remember that.
So it was like a 16. So I think me and Danny were gonna share 16. That was the plan actually. Then we reached there and they're like, no, you guys have to battle. I'm like, battle? I'm Christian. I'm saying battle.
So you removed that stigma that says,
Yeah.
Christian rappers are not supposed to battle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think when you listen to the content, you could see the difference. You could really see the difference.
And people did see the difference. You were there for 7 weeks, and I'm glad you did. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
One thing I wanted that show to achieve, though, even though it's no longer on air, was the fact that abaije bakwate ko power idea ko ebati watu ala single weka kuchilimba right after that, because I wanted it to be like a platform for exposure, you know, for young MCs coming up.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, after that, people keep inboxing saying it's harder to get on radio now, you know, we can't easily take promos, Baretu Chinga and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I just don't understand that. I
Yeah.
just don't understand that. I thought after the show was over, people would be like at liberty to walk into a radio station, to walk up to DJs, to
And have the confidence, yeah.
have the confidence, form these relationships with on-air personalities that could make it easier for them to take music to radio. But that seems not to happen.
Yeah.
They keep promoting the stuff online. I find that worrying. Do you think new wave MCs are lazy, or is it just really hard to get on radio? From your standpoint, what do you think?
I think I'm a little on edge here, because okay, this is what I think. I think I have something to say about both. So maybe I'd say yes and no.
How's it been for club music artists?
Okay,
because I see you mostly on Sun FM, not any other radio station.
Okay, again, that's a good question. So I think there's always this culture about being more comfortable with what you've always known.
Okay.
So maybe that's where the problem starts. You get what I mean? You get so comfortable. I'll give you an example. It's like you know someone at a radio station, or you probably even have a relationship with them.
Yeah.
It's easier to indulge such a person as opposed to a new person, because you're afraid of rejection. Sometimes that's what people are basically afraid of, and I've been afraid like that before.
Yeah.
So it's easier to kick it with people, DJs that you already know. And that's why you find that sometimes people are only reaching out to specific radio stations, because sometimes there's a lot of backlash, there's criticism that's very unrealistic.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes people just don't know you, so they're just like, okay, we'll play maybe. You know what I mean? Some people ask for money. There's all sorts of things. But in answering your question regarding club music, I think there's a lot of mistakes. I can't even deny that. There's a lot of mistakes that have been made as a label.
Yeah.
And after many years of experience, I think I've learned different techniques and really on how to be better. So some of the mistakes are like what you're saying, like where there's this wave of rappers, and some of those I know. You know what I mean? Like I've worked with.
Yeah.
So
which are these? KC and Zena? Because I believe those left.
Yeah.
I want to know what happened with that. Is it the same reason we are addressing right now of not really having access to radio stations? Did they leave because of promo? Or what happened with Zena and KC? Zena and KC are artists, by the way. KC is a rapper, Zena is a poet.
A really good rapper, by the way.
Under club music.
Yeah, and I was gonna get to that. What I wanted to say was, it's easier. It's when you look at the way social media is staged, or the way it's organized, and the way it runs. Things run. Yeah. It's you see results faster.
Okay.
that's what you think. Because you see people like your stuff, you think they're actually listening and pushing.
Okay.
I'm not saying there isn't platform on social media that could help you market and push stuff, but I just feel like groundwork is important as well.
All right.
You know what I mean? Because you could be Facebook famous and people don't know you and still not get opportunities to be on certain shows and whatever and maybe do tours and stuff like that. So I feel like those were some of the mistakes. I feel like we had focused so much on social media, and I think we're doing pretty good. But at the same time, it's where you get accustomed to an audience, and so you think because you have that audience, you've definitely pulled through.
All right.
So, okay, I'm not really sure what their other reasons could be, what Zena and Casey's other reasons could be. But I feel like there was a season where we went through some stuff that I think the individuals, for example, like me, I went through some stuff that that obviously can't jump into. And at the same time, these artists wanted to be pushed a certain way.
Okay.
And at the time, it was not possible.
Could it be that they wanted to be pushed as much as Zeke and TSG were being pushed? Because when people hear Clot, they immediately rush to Zeke and TSG.
And then, yeah. And honestly, I think it could be. I know it's not something that we've
discussed.
We've discussed where you give an opportunity and like somebody said, where you're just naked. Speak the truth.
Shout out to
Destro.
I mean?
Yeah, shout out to Destro.
Yeah.
And the coming EP. Yeah, but really, and honestly speaking, I think they sort of felt like they were not being pushed. It could be they felt they were not being pushed as much. But what I know about, especially like for Casey, he wanted to have his work done, and it was sort of delayed because there was some stuff going on.
Okay.
Because we were also trying to rebrand and sort of do some inside work, because we had a lot of people on board that were not functioning the way we were supposed to have been functioning.
Okay.
So we kept on having meetings about these things. We were talking about management, because the thing was, we just didn't have people that sing and do all the like the typical artistic stuff. We had people that were in marketing, people that were sort of doing like management work, and those people were not doing the work they were supposed to have been doing. So we started to disagree.
So all of you were slacking at one point.
At some point, yes.
Have you rebranded yet? Because we had a conversation the other day where you told me, I did law, but it's not really panning out. Let me not use those words because his boss might be watching. It's not really fulfilling, because it's not really fulfilling. I love music. I've always done music, but this law thing seems to be dragging me behind. You know, so are you now telling me we'll see more material from Zeke, aside from Tug of War and I Choose You, the two singles that you dropped last year, late last year, right?
No, early last year.
Damn, that's been a long time, dude. And you told me you were working on a tape. What's happening with that? Have you rebranded? Are you doing more stuff?
Remember when I just came to the show and I told you I dropped the mic? I actually did drop the mic.
Because of the law?
No. I just dropped the mic because I got frustrated.
Oh, yeah.
And it's good that you've asked. That's why I'm being blunt, because I'm hoping somebody could be encouraged, or you could get your passion back.
Okay. Frustrated because of what? The team and not reaching the goals you set, or just personal issues? I think
one, it's personal issues, and then also it's this. I call it an early midlife crisis, because I'm not that age yet.
And you ain't even married yet.
Yeah, but I'm just being blunt, because I feel like it's people's expectations. It's the fact that you've shared some of these goals before to the public, and then you just don't seem to be getting there. If you really listen, like sit down to listen to Tug of War, I think it's one of the realest songs I ever wrote, because it was from the heart, and I think it pretty much speaks of what I went through last year, jumping into this year as well. So what got me frustrated apart from personal issues is also just the fact that I felt like, you know what, I've been pushing this thing for a long time. It just don't seem to happen. And I can't lie, I felt like there are people that are getting what they want, and they don't deserve it.
Yeah.
Like artistic wise.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna drop names, but I just
like
feel
dudes can't even rap. But
it's like, dude, you can't even rap. No, I'm saying I'm being honest, and at the same time, I think Abel Black and I had some sort of interaction regarding art and being passionate about what you're pushing. I think the past 3 years have shown us that it's not always about rap, about being artistic. Sometimes it's about being passionate.
Okay.
The type of music that's coming from the corporate world right now is not music that you could. Okay, I'm not saying it's not artistic. It's artistic in its own way anyway, and I love that. But I feel like there's a certain ratchetness to the music that you vibe to, and it just brings out this crazy in you. Especially like as I'm a copper kid, and there's just this thing about copper people. You know what I'm saying? Like not tulayas of account.
But that music has been released consistently,
and that's what I mean by passion.
You
So
know?
anyway, so in answering your question, what I wanted to say basically is, apart from personal issues, it's also just the fact that I felt like I wasn't getting what I wanted.
Do you place this responsibility partly on you though?
Yes, definitely, and that's what I mean. That's what I mean by it was me. I blamed myself, of course.
Okay.
And at the same time, it's that thing where I'm looking at the fact that I have responsibility, and then I've done the slow stuff. So I feel like I gave this slow stuff a chance, and it started to give me results that I've been trying to get whilst I've done this music for a longer period. And that's why Destro before earlier was cracking jokes about making money. I felt like I saw more results doing this slow stuff, and I was passionate about it. It's not that I hate it; I love it. I'm actually very good at it. I still haven't done the bar, but like I've worked with people and I've seen results that I didn't think I would see. You know what I mean? So that's where the frustration came from. Until I had a conversation with KRYTIC.
Okay.
And I know this is gonna sound cliche, but KRYTIC got me to pick up the mic.
It's been years though. You have to understand, you and he have like some sort of similar background.
Exactly.
He almost got into law as well, and
Yes.
you know, you're a lawyer.
Trust me, we had a very
deep conversation.
very naked
so
conversation.
now, aren't you scared? Because it took so many years for him to even get to where he is right now. He has a good management and everything is looking good.
Yeah.
At the moment, but it's been years of grinding. Aren't you afraid you could possibly be heading down the same path where all my English raps might not be accepted wangu, so maybe ni minaramba na inokula pita mfia kuchule if ipakutinka but yeah, aren't you scared? You know, once you make this announcement, I feel like I feel low, and then the rapping just doesn't.
The honest truth is I'm not gonna make that announcement, not because I'm trying to be safe, but because I'm trying to find a way to make this thing work. And I'm saying this because I'm looking at the many people that are like me or feel like me that have secretly dropped the mic.
Yeah.
And you have no idea, but the silence sort of gives you an idea. I'm saying I'm doing this for them because the conversation I had with KRYTIC was so amazing, because not only did he share his struggles and some of the stuff that he went through and for how long he did, we spoke about how that he feels he's cracked it now. Oh. And how he didn't want to just be an MC that cracked it in a certain generation, only to live it, only to just go with the silence, and then people have to come back and
so
start
he shared some of those.
Yes, he actually did, and that's part of what's made me very confident
that you will actually crack it.
Exactly.
From Ndole.
Yes, not from everywhere.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
What's the plan then? Because my next question now has to do with how you will really get into this thing. Your partner Danny TSG recently did a track with Dope Boys, and it had this this new sound that is easily getting accepted on radio. Are you going that route as well?
I think if you've noticed, like even the examples you gave before of the singles for last year, those a song where I actually sung.
Oh.
I actually sung.
Singing is accepted.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And then there's the tug of war, which is a sort of like a mixture of both. I feel like one of the things that I'm gonna do different is I'm not gonna restrict my art.
Oh, cool. One
of the dudes that I've been sampling of late a lot is Burner Boy.
Oh yeah.
That guy is smart. You know what I mean? And so even from the conversation, some of the things that I want to do different is to be open. Be open in the sense that be open to advice. You know what I mean? Because I feel like MCs, especially rappers, we have this thing where, like, I have this figured out. You know what I mean? Because we've watched videos and we've seen movies. We know stories of people who said, "I'll do this myself," and they actually did it to an extent, you know what I mean? Or sometimes people just don't know. They're not privy to what was happening in the background. So they feel like, oh no, Lil Wayne started his own thing and then he blew up, or Eminem did this thing and he blew up. I feel like those are lessons that I learned when I had the conversation with KRYTIC, because then I realized like, oh, it's actually gonna take a lot of teamwork. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to have people on the ground. They are not always gonna be people from your camp, but you're gonna have to have people on the ground, people that could be able to put in some word for you. Not because they're bribing someone, but maybe they're saying just sample this guy. You know what I mean? Because we had a show back. We had a conference back in Andola called Culture Shock.
Yeah,
and there I got to meet people like Pompey, Mike,
with Pastor Mpangwe.
Pastor Mpangwe, yeah.
Shout out to Pastor PB. Yeah. Pastor Mpangwe, aka BJP. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so basically, like he gave me and Danny an opportunity to be part of the artists that were participating. Because initially it wasn't like a musical show. It was more of like an interaction to talk about like basically passions and how to be effective in our society and community, basically in those lines. So me and Danny did the opening set, and it was so amazing because I'm a hip hop guy. And the idea was looking at the fact that it was Culture Shock. So we did something that was not the usual. And so those guys were so amazed by the stuff we did.
Okay.
And I think that's why they was like, those my pictures that went viral, like, oh, these guys made these guys stand up. So afterwards we had an opportunity to have conversation.
Okay.
So one of the things I remember, one of the people rather is Thugger, Tim. Because the first thing he says is, yo, I've been waiting for your verse. I'm like, waiting for my verse? What do you mean? He's like, yo, I sent you a beat to Superman, which should have reached you, so I've been waiting for a verse. And then we just got into talking about work and how we should work soon and stuff like that. So that's definitely one of the people that...
So you guys are still talking?
Yes, definitely.
So from the knowledge you got from Culture Shock, are we expecting a tape soon?
Yes, definitely.
Because you guys are still unashamed with TSG.
Yeah.
Would that be like a collaborative effort, or and is it the Zeke tape?
No, because there's a lot of work actually coming through.
Okay.
So there's the Zeke tape. Then there's definitely gonna be the tape with me and Danny, because that's we've always, like, pretty much we've done music together, you know what I mean? And I feel like we owe people a tape, a collaborative work. Yeah, but I feel like one of the things that I'm definitely pushing, I already started to work on. I want to work with different people. One of the guys is a guy called Zamba. Yeah, so you should be expecting something towards the end of this year.
All right.
Yeah, so I don't have no names right now. One thing I do have though is I have a lot of unreleased music
that you need to give out to the
exactly
public.
So for starters, I feel like I want to release something this coming month. Yeah, but in line with cracking the code, I wanted to just read something right quick.
Okay.
This is a verse in Ecclesiastes chapter 9.
Can't have Zeke on the show without the Bible, ladies and gentlemen.
And hey, I'm not trying to be preachy, but
no, it's
like,
alright.
I feel like when you listen to this part, it's gonna
it'll resonate. I'm sure.
Like it's gonna make so much sense. This is what it says. So like I said, I'm reading Ecclesiastes 9 verse 11 and 12. So it says, I have seen something else under the sun. The race is not to the swift or the battle to the strong, nor does food come to the wise or wealth to the brilliant or favor to the learned, but time and chance happen to them all. Moreover, no man knows when his hour will come. As fish are caught in a cruel net, or birds are taken in a snare, so men are trapped by evil times that fall unexpectedly upon them. I feel like when you really look at what's happening in our music industry, or basically just in whatever sphere, it be the government, anything, careers, talk about it. Basically, what I see at play is that concept.
Yeah. Because
it's wisdom. Okay, so every one of us is applying some sort of wisdom in these things. But what you're going to understand is that this is wisdom which was discovered. This guy was not saying, this is what I feel this is. He's saying, after my evaluation of things in the earth, this is what I have discovered. I have discovered that battles are not won always by the strongest warriors. In other words, I'm saying we're going to have to work a certain way as as new MCs or as artists, basically Zambian artists specifically, you're gonna have to work smarter than what we've always thought it is. It means you're gonna have to sometimes throw away ego and learn from people, see where they made mistakes.
Yeah.
Okay, because it doesn't always have to take 15 years for everyone to get to a place where they start to actually maybe benefit from their art economically or begin to be known by everybody else. It means there's some mistakes that they may have made. One of which with MCs is the fact that they feel like they have to do this themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So basically what I'm saying is there's some wisdom there, some free wisdom, man. Like there's systems that are available. And so we're gonna have to work smarter, build networks, learn from people, have a team, you know what I mean? Like build these relationships as opposed to just thinking you're gonna do it yourself.
Like Sampa the Great. And
yes, like Sampa the Great, yeah.
Great example
Yeah.
on that.
And I feel MCs are upset because they're just like, where did this chick come from? She's now nominated for an award, and people have been trying to do that for a long time. Even I'm not nominated for the awards that are coming. You know what I mean? But looking at that experience, I feel like it's taught me more than it's made me get mad or get pissed.
So work smart, get advice, ego aside, because in flyer God is a palastic once. Thank you very much, Zeke.
Yes,
how soon can we receive music from you? And please give out your contact details as we wrap up.
Okay, so definitely, like I said before, starting to put out stuff next month. Yeah, so mid next month, definitely gonna have a date. So my social media is Facebook, it's Zeke. There's a page called Zeke, but you could search for it by so it's gonna be facebook.com/feel.zeke.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
And then Instagram is just Zeke or Zeke Feel.
All right. So low touch Puide, you're still a lawyer and a rap artist.
Definitely. Because I feel like I want to do something for the people that are coming that is different, and I feel like I got this. I didn't crack this code.
Plus, you need to provide for future or would-be family, because word on the street is kulika gero mninako and Okay, that's Level Up. I'm Sangatembo. Been hanging out with Zeke from the Copper Belt.
Copper Kid.
One of the illest MCs out there, and I'm not just saying that.